Hello, welcome back to Stretford Paddock. My name is Casey. We're outside Old Trafford, and because it's December, you realise it's freezing. So let's just get right into the news. We're going to give you all the updates on the Paul Pogba situation, all about Solskjaer, but let's just, first off, do what most fans don't want to do and recap the match. Now, obviously last night, Manchester United lost 3-2 to RB Leipzig. What does that mean? It means we're out of the Champions League. Some people were asking in the comments of our watch-along last night, what does this PSG still have to play? We're on the same points as PSG. We have a better goal difference. Why are we automatically out? And that is because Manchester United, when they played PSG, beat them 2-1, then lost 3-1. So on goal difference, PSG have more goals. And for some reason, even though the table reads as goal difference, it's a head-to-head basis. So that means that no matter what happened with the PSG match, if we lost, we were going out on head-to-head. So yes, United will be returning to Thursday night football for the foreseeable future, hopefully, because hopefully we'll go far in it, because obviously what do you want to happen? Us to go out to like Copenhagen? No. So United are back in the Europa League. We lost 3-2. It was one of those games where we started slowly, the middle was slow, and then the end when Paul Pogba came on, we played quite well to get 2 goals, but not the third. And that kind of led into this whole situation that has been surrounding United for the last few days, and that is around Paul Pogba and everyone's favourite agent, Mino Raiola, coming out and telling everyone what he thinks United should be doing, which is not his role whatsoever, and someone needs to stop him, probably Paul Pogba. But he obviously came out and said that Paul Pogba's time at Man United is over, it's done. Then he's not going to sign a new contract. Romano has said that there was a contract offer on the table, or they were talking about a contract sort of situation, and then something happened, something was destroyed, some trust, and then it's not going to happen now. And this was around about the time that they activated the contract extension on Paul Pogba. Now, Solskjaer has said yesterday about Mino Raiola, and this was him hitting back at Mino Raiola. He said, as soon as Pogba's agent realises it's a team sport, the better. I don't want to spend energy on that. You have to ask Paul if he's happy or not. I'm not going to speak for him. Paul is focused on doing his best for the team. Now that's kind of hitting out at Raiola, but also like not condemning Paul Pogba, not kind of leaning into these reports that everyone has been saying that we are ready to sell Paul Pogba, even as early as the January window. But it's more than a lot of people have said about Raiola in the past. Raiola is one of those guys who I think I've said it on this channel before, he's kind of that weird uncle that sits in the corner of family parties and randomly says things, and you're like, alright, we'll just leave you over there and we just won't cause a problem. But then eventually he gets louder and louder, and he kind of ruins the party for everyone. And he always does it before a match. Oh yeah, we have a really important game in the Champions League, or we have a really important game for top 4. Oh, here's Mino Raiola on his thoughts on why we aren't playing Zlatan Ibrahimovic enough and Paul Pogba in the right position. Who cares? The situation is that Paul Pogba, for years, has been at this club, and he's had his spells where he's been fantastic, and he's had his spells where he's not been good. But the problem is now, those spells where he's not really affecting the game and he's not been as good are growing. And some people are saying this is because we're not playing him in the right position. Some people are saying like, it's because Solskjaer doesn't know how to use him, he's not playing him in the number 10. But the fact is that you see the situation where we bring in Bruno Fernandes, and since Bruno Fernandes has come in, there hasn't really been a point where I've said, oh, Bruno Fernandes really hasn't given his all and he hasn't really affected this game by being on the pitch. And that is the difference. You can't say about Paul Pogba that every time he goes on the pitch, you know that even if he plays badly, he's given it his all. And obviously he played well last night, he played well against West Ham, he got the goal, which is a situation, but before that he wasn't as good. But you have to see now whether it is the time that we move Paul Pogba on. And that is some of the things they've been saying that you saw before the match, obviously, the comments came out, and some people were saying that affected Solskjaer's tactics. So Solskjaer, before the match, said, my decision tonight is obviously tactical, that's the only thing. We made the decision way before this game because we decided on Scott and Nemanja in that midfield before West Ham. Now, a lot of journalists were disputing this and saying that there was a very late sort of air around the team news in terms of they kind of have an idea of where it is going to be at. Before that, it wasn't really there with United. A lot Obviously, Jonathan Schrager said he thought it was a lot later than that. But that's one of the things. Like, I feel like Paul Pogba, that was a game last night that he would have played if we were going to start on the front foot. Because you looked at the mid-team and it looked like this is very defensive. A lot of people said that we played 7 defenders. But it looked very defensive, and it looked like one of those games where Paul Pogba could have slotted in because we had an extra defender. But we obviously went with Matic and McTominay, and then conceded within 90 seconds. I'm not going to go into it anymore because I don't think anyone wants to relive last night. It happened now. We're in the Europa League. We've just got to deal with it. Fabrizio Romano had a lot to say on the podcast. His Here We Go podcast. He said, Paul Pogba's dream is to play for Real Madrid, but no one at Real Madrid is moving to sign Pogba, and they've never contacted Mino Raiola. That's kind of just like that sadness, isn't it? It's like, it seems like in that situation, Mino Raiola is trying to kind of be like, he's available, please come and get him, please. It's like, I want money. Like, he is trying to create a situation where he's trying to lower United's asking price. He's trying to make United want to sell. He's trying to make United actively sell. And he's trying to be like, Real Madrid, remember us? You wanted him next to Dan. And all that sort of situation. And he's just kind of signalling for him. Tell me what you think about the Paul Pogba situation. Do you think we should hang on for him till January? Do you think he's an important part of the team? Do you think he's an important part of the push now? Because obviously we're in a bit of a better position than we did start the season in. To try and move on into the third, second, maybe even top spot for part of the season, to move on in the Europa League, to move on in the cup competitions? Or do you think we cut our losses, we get the money for Paul Pogba, and we try and reinvest it in other areas? Is that what you think we should do? Just let us know in the comments and tell us what you think. Going back to the result again last night, as I said, I didn't want to really recap it, but we have to. A lot of people have been saying this is now the match that puts pressure on Solskjaer. Going out of the Champions League after being in such a high position, we've seen managers sacked for it before, and that is what some people are saying. We've seen a lot of managers kicked out of their positions because they've been like, oh, we're in the Champions League, we want to win the Champions League, and then like they get kicked out in the group stage and everyone's like, yeah, out the door you go. And people are saying that this game against City is really important in Solskjaer's reign. I don't think it is, and so neither does Phil Neville. Phil Neville thinks that Manchester United are behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and many fans have tipped him for the sack, but they want to do well in the Europa League, and they think Solskjaer's the project. The thing is that this is the situation that we've been going on for ages. We're not playing badly. Our form is not that bad. We've obviously had spells where we've been bad, and the problem is that those games that we've been bad have been compounded into those like 3-game form slots, which like at the start of the season we played pretty badly. So like in that sort of sense is, how are we going to do? We're doing well now, and what's the point of stopping that momentum just because we've gone out of a tournament that we didn't really expect to get out of the group, and we were kind of happy when we were in the position to, but we expected PSG and Leipzig to beat us, and that's exactly what they did. And then we had one of our moments against Başakşehir. So like, what were we expecting? But anyway, on that note, look forward to the future. Let's not dwell on last night. Let's try and be cheerful and positive and just get out of the road, which I know is hard to say sometimes because as a United fan, it's just sometimes you have to wallow in it for a bit. But as always, this is Stretford Paddock. I've been Casey. Make sure to tune in to all our content, and I'll see you next time.